We may not be.
I
We
don't
are
know.
indeed. We are indeed are live, Neil, using brand new technology, and excited to use streaming technology instead of just using good old Zoom today. Hey,
At least
Neil, how are you?
half of us are excited.
I know small things, but for me, this is very exciting to
It's
always
not
be
small
trying
things.
new
It's just
things.
sorry, tech makes you excited, and that's cool. Like that's your thing, Quentin. Like own your thing.
I know. But yeah, it's actually interesting. You should say that's something that makes me excited. Not so much for you. You have other things, because that is probably closer to my why than for most people. Do you know what it is when I say it's my why?
I think I do, but I've been working with you for a while. But when
Yes.
we teach this as a class and we don't give much background explanation, I think it's not that people don't understand how deep the why actually needs to be. It literally needs to be your driving force, and that's I think we should unpack that and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think it's most people when you ask them what is their business, what is it that they do, they very easily can explain to you what it is that they do and how they do it. But it's more tricky when you start challenging them. Why do you do what you do? Because they kind of give you the same stereotypical answers. So I'm going to share a screen with you with my new technology. There you go. And how's that? It appears out of nowhere.
Boom.
So this is what I mean when I say, discovering what your why is. And the most people, and they jump to this answer and they say what it is that they do. So they'll tell you, yeah, I've got a great Kalanetics program that is very unique to me, and I'm the only one that does it. And I figured out a brand new way to do things, and it's got all of this bells and whistles to it. Do you recognize that, Neil?
Yeah, that's what you're doing. That's not the reason that you've chosen that specifically and why it resonates with you, why it resonates with your being, with your soul. It's got to be the reason why you're going to wake up every day. And we've all got these 12 hours of being awake and not sleeping, lots more, of some, obviously a lot more. And we need to spend that time doing things that resonate with us. And if something doesn't, if you don't know why you're doing it, or if it doesn't resonate with you, chances are you're not going to spend very many of those hours in one day and in a week towards this thing, and that should be your business. And if you don't know why you're doing it, how do you expect to get yourself to spend those hours doing the stuff that you need to in order for a business to grow? Because if you start your own business, if you're a personal trainer, and most of us start our own businesses, if we're not working in traditional gyms, for example, even then we're contracted to a gym. And to get business going, you need to push that proverbial like stone up the hill until you
Yeah,
get to that tipping point. But getting to that tipping point, there's a lot of pushing that needs to happen.
absolutely. Yeah, so that's the first place I said that people are starting, and then the how. This is also easily for people to talk about, but at the core of what we are talking about is really it starts with your why. Everything from sort of what's the word, comes from the why that you decide. And we often find that when we challenge personal trainers in our tribe training, that this is quite a difficult question for people to answer, because the obvious questions always come from sort of, well, I want to make more money, and I want to get rich, I want to drive a nice car, I want to have a big house. And that's not really the
Have
things
more
that are.
time, freedom.
Yeah, yeah. So when you get to time freedom, those sort of things are maybe a little bit more what it is that you want. So uh, uh, instead of starting from the outside in, we should always be starting with from the inside out, talking about the why, because why conjures up feelings, it's emotions, and emotions are much more powerful in inspiring and leading us to where we go, and for us to create a commitment of what we want, to the things that we really really want. Whereas when you get to the what and the how, that's when you get to the facts and the figures, of five training programs a month versus 10, and I'm going to lose 5 kilograms, and I'm going to gain so much toning, and that sort of stuff. So this really is when you are a leader, which most of as a PT, you are a leader because you are guiding somebody. You are the expert guiding somebody to the ultimate goal that they want. And if you can sort of focus on the creating emotions and that sort of thing, a lot of PTs always often say, well, they can't get the commitment from people. People bail out after a couple of weeks. If you can attach to those feelings, you'll get a lot more sort of sustainable business as well. So, what exactly?
100%. I think you almost skip. Oh, I think we're talking over each other a little bit. Sorry, Quentin. There was a bit of a delay there. I just didn't want to skip too fast over the how. I think you did go back to it, which was beautiful. But what you do need to understand is like what a lot of people do when you ask the why, when you start talking about the how, after you've said like, oh, it's my Kalanetics program and it's very unique to me. A lot of people will then, when you ask them, no, but like, why is your program, like, why do you want to do your program? And then they start to talk about the how. So, I do 3 times a week, and I can do in person, and then I can do on the app, and I've also got live sessions, and they start to talk more about the how instead of the actual why. And I know you're going to go into more details about the why, and you've introduced it nicely, but I just wanted the personal trainers to kind of conceptualize, like, it's not talking about the means in which you do it, that's the how.
Yes.
And so, let's go into the feelings and the why.
All right. Yeah. So really what feelings is, or your why is really all about, and trying to put it in other words, it's the purpose that you are, that you have for yourself, the pursuit that you're in after, and what is your cause that you are believing in, and the beliefs and the dreams. So it's asking yourself questions like, why does your business exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care whether you do or whether you don't? So that's sort of a brief summary of what it is. And everything that you do then from then on in your business, everything you think and that you act and you communicate comes from the why to the outside. So again, keeping in mind that you are, as a PT, you are a leader and you're a guide to somebody, you're somebody's expert. Everything that you say must come from that inside the why point. So then the last piece that you maybe can't see over there is your, it inspires people to follow you. So that is also, that's the point of it. People are more inspired by feelings than they are about facts. So
let's not skip ahead, Quentin. Let's give some examples. You can maybe talk about a little bit about your business, but I'll go first. So in terms of your purpose and the pursuit of what your cause is, when the reason why I've chosen to do complete body transformations, and my niche being putting all those puzzle pieces together and realizing that there's more than just one aspect that changes a body, is because it literally goes back to my childhood of what I was afforded by what my mother knew, and what she actually taught me in terms of values and principles, and on how to look after myself, and how different aspects influence how my body looks, how my body feels, how it reacts. I literally think that this knowledge is so important, and that I need to tell other people about this and teach other people about this, because it's not been taught in schools. We all have a body. We all have this need to be more confident, to have more energy. And I'm completely passionate about sharing the information that's been installed to me through my parents, through mostly my mom, but then also all of the research and the studies that I've done, and given a very practical approach of how that actually happens. And that's an extremely strong driving force, knowing that this information is important, and knowing how few people actually know how it works. And that's really what gets me to think about it all the time, new ways I can do it, to act, and also to kind of communicate that to people, to tell people that how this is going to revolutionize their life, because it's completely changed mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great example, Neil, and it's very important to highlight that. I just want to use an example quickly to maybe illustrate it a little bit better. But we all know the Apple company, not the apple, the fruit, the company, and why we all know that the culture and the message that they have and the brand behind Apple is very different to, say, the PC. And if you think about how they address the why instead of the what, they say, one of their statements is, they say, everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. So that already talks to a belief that they have, and that would bring people that are like-minded to that, and they have the same sort of feelings in life and the whys that will bring those sort of people into their world. Then they go on to say the way we challenge the status quo is by making products beautifully designed and easy to use. So you'll see that's bringing it from the why into the what it is that they do. And then it's almost by the by, we also make great computers and phones. So we know that the quality of the products are great, but it's the feelings behind it, and it's what they believe that makes people stand in line at 4 o'clock in the morning waiting for the latest iPhone to come out, right?
Yep. You won't do that unless you're very bought into the brand and the philosophy of the company.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just a couple of other things just to sort of keep this in mind, and maybe something that you can put up on your desktop or something when next time you putting your messaging together, is that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And the goal is not to do business with everyone that who needs what you have, but the goal is to do business with everyone who believes what you believe. And you'll find that, especially for personal trainers as well, that's how you're going to get your ideal client, and that's how you're going to get them to stay.
100%, yeah. That's super important. Obviously, finding your ideal client is a completely beautiful thing, but being able to have retention in your business and keeping those clients coming, and also retaining the business that you already have and the relationships that you form, even better. So that's what a sustainable business really looks like.
Brilliant. Okay, and then just to wrap it up, you guys might know Martin Luther King had the "I Have a Dream" speech, and there were thousands of people who attended the speech in Washington, and people didn't come there because of him saying, "I have a plan," or "I have an idea." He said, "I have a dream," and this inspired so many people to come and follow and hear what he has to say. And he talks about if you talk about what you believe, then you will attract those who believe what you believe. So, yeah, I'm not going to carry on. There's so much more than one could talk about the topic probably for days. But I just want you guys to really encourage everyone to sort of always start on the inside and work your way out, and really sort of sit down and write this down. Actually, quickly, I did say there was one more slide that I want to show. This may be a good exercise to do, is make up the list of these three things: what you're good at, your skills and your gift, what you're experienced in, and what you love, your beliefs, and who do you hang out with. Those three lists will give you, if you write them out sort of as extensively as you can, the middle, where those three circles come together, is probably where the magic is going to happen for you.
That's really where your core of what you should be doing comes out. And a lot of people actually don't know what they really need to do in terms of their calling, in terms of what they're passionate about. Because I found a love for coaching. I love coaching people, but I'm passionate about teaching people. And unless you find that out and you ask yourself these questions and you find those overlays, you're never going to be, you're going to have driving force, but you've got serious driving force when you're doing things that you're passionate about. And I think a nice thing that I can share with everyone, with what they've probably heard if you've listened to a lot of our videos, but Quinton and I share actually very core belief of our whys. And both of us were put in situations where we lost our income, we lost our position, we lost our financial security in different ways. But one of our big whys for doing Trainman Academy, for starting our own businesses, for reinventing ourselves, is because we want that security within ourselves and not having to rely on a company that can go bust or on someone that can just fire you or whatever. So that's like a really like core driving why as to what Quinton and I, why we work so well together, and the power of why.
Absolutely. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Neil, for your input today. It's been great having you bring that great perspective again, and from the world of personal trainers. And it was awesome just having a chat about this, because I think it's very important.
Yeah, this is literally the core of what you need to do if you start in a business. So thank you for drawing our attention to that, Quinton, and the slideshow was great. And as always, guys, if personal training is your passion and you do want to make it a business that can be scalable, whether it be a part-time business, something you can realistically do on the side and can bring in enough income, or being your full-time business and can realistically be a full-time business, it needs to be scalable. We suggest using a personal training app. We'll teach you how to do the whole app thing from scratch, and Quinton will teach you how to get the clients. We have a membership, and yeah, get on board with us, because we literally have 2 spots, I think, available for our founder member price. So the price is never going to be this low ever again. So grab those 2 spaces and yeah, come with us, and you'll be joined into our masterclasses. We'll introduce you to the tribe. We've got a massive community that's forming, and yeah, get on board now while it's still cheaper. It's more cost effective because the price is just going to go up and up.
Absolutely. Okay, well, cool. Thank you very much, Neil. We'll be back next week, same place, same time.
Yeah, hopefully I won't have to do it live by myself again.
And unless you're gallivanting on holiday or something, Neil.
I mean, who would go on holiday for their birthday coming up on Monday?
Oh, by the way, people, it's Neil's birthday next week. Just in case, yeah, please remember Monday, that.
Put it in your calendar. In your calendar.
In your calories, yeah.
Wish me happy birthday on Monday, guys. I'm getting old.
Oh, shame. Are you going to say how old?
I'm going 34.
Oh, wow. You don't look a day over 30, Neil.
Oh, thank you, Quinton.
Anyway, all right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. We'll see you next week.
Cheers. Bye.